Last night was ugly. Last night was the ugliest of the games, of ugliest of the days.
The Unrivaled League was supposed to be a game changer for women's basketball, a fast-paced, high-energy off-season alternative to the WNBA that would captivate fans and elevate the sport. But what happened after their first week's debut is an utter disaster.
Because Unrivaled, the women's basketball league, dead on arrival without Caitlyn Clark playing in it, was in fact dead on arrival.
They have stumbled the ball big time, and the ratings, don't even get me started. They are as bad as Angel Reese's missed layups.
I've watched every game. I've done live streams for every game. And I gotta say, it was in large part absolutely cringeworthy. Okay.
This is all happening because of the absence of that one person who could have saved it all. Caitlyn Clark.
3-on-3 professional league co-founded by WNBA stars Nafisa and Brianna, averaged 313,000 viewers in its opening game between Stewart's Miss and Coyer's Owls.
Let's address the elephant in the room, the ratings. The first week of Unrivaled averaged a mere 300,000 viewers, a far cry from the WNBA's strong numbers last season, which had more than 1 million views for Clark's games.
Now, I think a huge piece of this is, of course, going with Caitlyn Clark, which we know most of Caitlyn Clark's games, if not all of them, hit 1 million in viewership.
For a league that relies on star power and flashy gameplay, this is an embarrassing flop. Considering the hype surrounding the Unrivaled League,
I don't think the 300,000 is that impressive. Now, this is a 3-on-3 league. Not a lot of people like it.
To make matters worse, the live audience for the opening game was 900 pitiful souls. Yes, 900. Some even joked that the crowd looked like it had been paid to show up.
Guys, she's back to mid-season form. She really is. She's absolutely delivering on that double-double. That's right, points, rebounds, and of course, losses. Just in the same way that the Chicago Sky melted last year when her double-double streak started, she cost her team a game last night.
The disparity between these figures and the hype surrounding the league's launch is too painful to watch, and the fans are utterly disappointed.
I think we saw what Unrivaled does not want us to see last night. I think we saw it. And what we saw was about as bad a game as could possibly happen for them.
The fans were promised the best of women's basketball, but instead, they got a lukewarm product at best, with lackluster and disappointing performances.
Cringeworthy, causing feelings of acute embarrassment or awkwardness. I used the right word. A lot of last night, day 3, was cringeworthy. And I felt like it certainly wasn't just me cringing. I mean, I could sense that from Lisa Leslie as she was calling the game. I could sense that from the ladies at the desk giving their commentary after the game. It was cringeworthy.
That's correct. Most games from this league were cringeworthy, and this feeling was shared between the fans, the experts, and even the commentators who were calling the game, such as Lisa Leslie.
Even the team that won played awful. The team that lost should not have shown up. And in the first game, the team that lost probably shouldn't show up anymore because it was ugly. Last night was ugly.
Many experts and fans were complaining about the horrible performances, and there was one player in particular who stood out for her abysmal performance, Angel Reese, the self-proclaimed Bayou Barbie.
Once again, guys, looking like a baby deer or a baby giraffe out there. I cannot believe that somebody that looks this uncoordinated is a professional.
Angel Reese was supposed to be one of the crown jewels of Unrivaled, a star who could draw in fans with her talent and personality. Instead, she delivered a performance that was, in a word, forgettable.
So check this out. This is, you can imagine, missed layups from last night. Man, I mean, what is really going on here? You see that? And then right, whatever that is. I don't even know what that was. One more time. Oh, my God. I'm going to drive to the basket, and then I'm going to mess the ball up. No layups. Whatever that is.
Remember when Angel kept saying that she's also bringing in viewers just like Caitlyn Clark? Well, here's the interesting part. She's completely wrong about the viewership, and her games in Unrivaled prove it.
Angel Reese keeps telling us that it's not just Caitlyn Clark, that she's part of this brigade of women's basketball players that are leading all these new viewers into the WNBA.
That's correct. The ratings don't lie, and they are clearly saying that ratings didn't go up when Angel Reese started her game, but rather they took a nosedive.
This is more statistical data that proves nobody's tuning in to see Angel Reese. In fact, the viewership actually dropped between the first game and the second game from last Friday, the debut of Unrivaled. Now, why is that significant? Angel Reese played in the second game and they lost viewers from the first game.
Not only that, Angel was missing easy layups and struggling to find her rhythm. She looked far from the player who captivated audiences last year.
Now, Angel Reese went viral because she missed like 9,000 layups again, and her debut in Unrivaled was a disaster. So yeah, she got a lot of views because people dragged her. Plain and simple.
And when the criticism started rolling in, cue the tantrum. Reports suggest Reese was visibly frustrated during and after the game, and even threw shade in post-game interviews.
They haven't identified exactly what the hell that is. By the way, in case you're wondering, yes, Angel Reese is getting absolutely roasted.
Fans expected her to rise to the occasion, but all they got was a meltdown that overshadowed an already mediocre performance.
On my live stream, we're watching the game, and there are not just misses. Like, players miss, and players miss layups too. But what we saw last night was an inability to put the ball in the basket too many times, including layups.
But Angel Reese wasn't the only star to fall short in the league's debut. Satu Sabali, another big name expected to shine, delivered a performance that left fans yawning.
Satu, 11 points. And you might go, oh, that's respectable. No. No, hear me. She played really bad.
Many analysts were disappointed in her performance, and several fans voiced their criticism out loud.
Hey, come on, Satu, showing about how she would be great, how she would be a great fit for the Indiana Fever. And a lot of people were feeling very positive about Satu. And then after this game, people are like, oh, no. What were we thinking?
Instead of elevating the league, Sabali and others seemed to struggle with the fast-paced format, leading to sloppy play and missed opportunities.
Constructed, man, the Phantom aren't even trying. Like, Satu should have been one of the best players in this league. This is a league built for players like Satu. And Satu's barely trying. And it's mad looking at this team. They suck so bad.
It's not just about individual performances, though. The lack of chemistry among teams, coupled with the league's high expectations, has created a product that feels disjointed, uninspired, and outright pathetic to watch.
There's one team, you guys can see right here, that I genuinely think are like almost making a mockery of the whole thing, and it's the Phantom. Dear Lord, they're bad. Like, they looked so bad against the Laces. Against the Laces losing by 40.
Satu's team, the Phantoms, were a pathetic bunch to watch as they lost by 40 points to their opponents. But the most disappointing thing wasn't the loss, it was the fact that they weren't even trying.
And she wasn't doing well at all. It looked really bad. It looked like a missed shot, like you see in that warm-up, right? She was missing. It wasn't looking good.
And here's the real kicker. Everyone knows that there's a player who could have single-handedly saved this league. We are talking about none other than the Rookie of the Year, Caitlyn Clark.
This is hilarious. TNT finally released the first television numbers for Unrivaled Basketball League, and they aren't very good. Of course, TNT tried to spin the numbers as strong, but the facts state the obvious. No Caitlyn Clark means no large audiences.
Clark's electrifying style, record-breaking stats, and ability to draw massive crowds have made her the face of women's basketball. The WNBA saw a massive ratings boost last season thanks to Clark, and her absence in Unrivaled is glaring. Without Clark, they are looking at mediocre ratings at best and ridiculously low at worst.
That's just no other way to put it. However, one look at the WNBA ratings with Caitlyn Clark shows just how much Unrivaled struggled without her. Heck, the Clark effect led to WNBA games that didn't even feature Clark drawing an average of 400,000 viewers. The WNBA drew millions of viewers for its championship series without Caitlyn Clark. By the way, they were still embarrassingly low compared to games with Caitlyn Clark. That last Indiana Fever playoff game had 2.64 million viewers or something like that.
The league's founders, including Nafisa Collier, knew this all too well. That's why they reportedly offered Clark one of the most lucrative deals of the year to join Unrivaled.
It's just been reported today that Caitlyn Clark could receive a Lionel Messi-like offer to play in Unrivaled's startup 3-on-3 league, which is a full court press to sign her.
But Clark turned it down, and who can blame her? Why risk her reputation and health in a league that was unproven and, as it turns out, unprepared?
Of that, Caitlyn Clark will not be a part of the league. That was confirmed by ESPN.
And let me tell you, the disappointing ratings of Unrivaled aren't just a one-time fluke. They're a sign of deeper issues that will likely plague the league moving forward. Fans who tuned in for the opening games saw sloppy play, a lack of star power, and inconsistent streaming services.
It's the little things. They have all these media deals. They have all these, the players are getting paid. All this stuff is great. All the facilities is great. But, they have all this deal. But, if you are not based in the US and Canada, you cannot watch this right now. You actually can't.
The international audience, in particular, has been vocal about their dissatisfaction, with many countries outside of North America unable to access the games at all.
Because you see, if you go to live, they have a 1-minute live stream. First of all, the games for Saturday have just vanished, but today's games are just not on. They're just not on the stream. So if you're not in America, you can't watch this. So obviously, all the money is pumped into different areas, and there was just no preparation for this.
The league's problems are compounded by its inability to deliver on its promises. Fans expected a high-energy, skill-packed experience, but instead they got a product that feels rushed and underwhelming. Without drastic changes, it's hard to see how Unrivaled will recover.
If you guys don't know, on day one, it started off on a box score, and then, it didn't even have a box score. For the first, game, it was just saying, let's just say, I think it was, Mist versus Lunar Owls. It was Mist misses shot, Brianna Stewart makes shot, Lunar Owls miss shot. And then, randomly there was a box score in, and field goals were 2-point field goals, 3-point field goals that were different, and then obviously they fixed that, and everything seems to be just fixing it as they've gone.
If Unrivaled wants to compete on the global stage, it needs to prioritize accessibility. Right now, it feels like the league is playing catch-up in a game it should have been prepared for from the start. Reese's presence in Unrivaled was meant to be a selling point, but so far, it's backfired.
All right, let's just say Unrivaled unraveled already.
Her Unrivaled's rocky start isn't a death sentence, but it's a wake-up call. If the league wants to succeed, it needs to make some serious changes. They should improve the product. Fans want fast-paced, high-quality basketball, not sloppy play and tantrums. The league needs to focus on elevating the quality of its games.
The company isn't going to bash its own programming, but there's no chance that TNT executives are happy about these numbers, despite their social media posts touting, quote, strong viewership.
The next thing is to fix streaming issues. Accessibility is key. The league needs to ensure that fans around the world can watch games without technical difficulties. The absence of Caitlyn Clark looms large, and until the league addresses its issues, it will continue to struggle. For now, Unrivaled is less of a revolution and more of a reminder that building a successful sports league takes more than just hype. It takes execution.
The numbers will steadily decrease. These numbers were due to initial interest. I watched 1 minute, got bored, no motivation to watch again.
The only question is, will Unrivaled learn from its mistakes, or will it be another flash in the pan? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, fans are already running out of patience. So, what do you think? Do tell us in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more latest updates from the world of basketball. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.